All right, we're going live. We're talking about the Portals game. We're going straight into it to have a bit of fun and just to see how it's basically being played. There's a couple of issues that I'm seeing at present, so that's a little bit of annoying. People can ask their questions below. However, in general, I think this is definitely it's fun. It's fun thus far. I just need to see what are we actually doing right now. Basically, the game's premise is you create a fleet, you upgrade it. I've went and bought some of the Chronos token. We'll pull that up in a second to see how it's doing. This will not be the token, but we'll find it. I believe it's going up with a bit of the pressure. Your goal is to get in early, have some fun, and get out. Well, not necessarily get out, but do well. So the token has a bit of buy pressure as people try to seek to get up. The claim Chrono is not working for me right now, so I'm going to try Phantom. My preferred wallet, of course, is Solflare, but I'm going to try and see if I can actually make this work here. But I just have to see how it is. So in general, I think this is a really cool idea. We've got this game. We've got DeFi Dungeons coming up soon. This is now live. It's free. You can go and claim the airdrop by coming here. I think go here and you'll be able to see the claim links, or you can go and buy the token. This is the official token, but I just want to try and level up my fleet and go from there. Now, claiming is not working right now, and I'm not even sure how I can disconnect. So I'm just going to refresh, connect wallet. I'm going to try Phantom just quickly in case there is a specific issue, and I've been locked out instantly, so that's annoying. And maybe in hindsight, I should have given it a little bit more time to for this game to kind of have an hour. But I wanted to share my findings and have a bit of fun early on. So let me just quickly check in Discord to see what's going on. If there's like the game's been paused or something like that. Because a lot of failing transactions for me. Disconnect, try again. Confirm, verifying the signature, maybe connecting. We're in. I think they've temporarily frozen the battles. We can see here, it says next battle in 23 seconds, but I think they've just kind of paused it. I'm currently rank 17. If I go to claim this, it simulates the transaction. Okay, and that's successful. So I'll try again shortly with Solflare to see how that goes. Then the goal is just to go to upgrade, right? You can go and sell it if you want to. Go to dupe, go and sell it. Token is going up. You can even do a DLMM strategy on it. Doesn't have a whole lot of volume though. It's got more volume than that, to be perfectly honest. Or maybe it doesn't. But either way, it's a bit of fun. There's also this here where you can turn on your microphone. It's muted right now. Unmute it, allow, and you walk over and you speak to them. Hi, how are you? Anyway, that's pretty cool because you can just interact with Rin. And I have a little bit, I'm going to try my Solflare wallet again in a second. I've got like 3,000. It says down $93. Well, that's not correct. 3,000, so I'm going to upgrade. She also says that the best things to upgrade are fleet size, fire rate, and fleet speed. So I'm going to bring these up with my 3,000. I think that's okay. And yeah, the goal for me is just to try and stay in the top number of accounts, basically. Any questions? Ask them. I'm just learning and seeing how this game is playing out, to be perfectly honest. It's a bit of fun, but what I'm mostly interested in, why I'm covering this, because it's not going to have a massive, crazy, massive audience. It's just because it's something new on Solana. Imagine if we get imagine if the next narrative is like easy to deploy games where people come and they just play and they have fun. And then people work better on the tokenomics and they become more addictive. So that's what I really want to see. And I think that could potentially do it. The battles happen every 60 seconds. And I don't know, I'm going to try with a brand new account shortly. I don't know how much Chrono you actually need in order to win. Because I don't think, if you've got like a tiny amount, like you're probably not going to get very much. I am down, where am I down? Here, number 17 with 84,000. And the top people have just max upgraded everything. It's Hugh max upgraded. So like that's not going to happen. We've got validator.com here, which I'll upgrade as well. But yeah, a bit of fun. All right, let's see if this is still going through. And I'm just going to have a look and see what's going on in Discord. See if there's any questions regarding this. So, I think battles are still paused. I'll have to come back to you regarding that. Maybe a minute. But any questions on this game or DeFi Dungeons, which released their Git book? So I need to go through that as well, which will probably be a whole lot of fun. Going through the Git book will be fun. The game itself, I'm sure, is going to be fantastic. But yeah, overall, I just think this is miles ahead of what we had in the previous cycle, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. Obviously, they're building it for some time, but it just came out of nowhere, and I reckon that's just a good thing to bring a bit of change into this ecosystem. Not just be all about meme coins that go up and go down and fail, but to have some fun, some cool games. I think these battles are paused while they let people get their fleets in. So I'm going to see if I can change to a different wallet. And with a different wallet, maybe just go and find a different wallet that's potentially a tutorial and have a bit of a play there. Just with something quite small. Let me see if I can connect this wallet here. Cool. All right, let's have a look at this. Okay, so when I'm connecting my wallet, I find it's easy just to go auto connect because I do have to refresh from time to time. This is a brand new wallet. Let's try again. Approve. In we jump. Go to dupe. Grab a bit. I don't have a lot of tokens in here, but I'm going to see how much you can kind of get in with a small amount. So what do I have in this wallet? I've got a little bit of dupe. I'm just going to sell this dupe just for the sake of this tutorial. Get myself $58. Just let's see if we can have a bit of fun with $58. Token price is still going up a little bit. Still, a small market cap, but this is a bit of fun. Come in here. Okay, I got to buy with 25 Chrono. I mean, we could just try that. Do we get anything if we just jump in with 25 Chrono? Probably not. We've got no rank. So I'm going to see if I can upgrade maybe like 20, which is not too much. I have in this wallet, how much did we just buy? 5,800. So we'll go with 20. And we'll come down and we'll just see if we get anywhere on the leaderboard, just with a bit of fun with like $50. Meanwhile, I'm just going to check and see if they've resumed in the game. Let's have a look. Battles paused. Cool. Well, what I might just do, because I hate to go off to a different topic, but this seems like a good idea just to go through the DeFi Dungeons game, to be perfectly honest, because we can't do anything. We can come back to this, and yeah, there's not much point in just talking about something which is currently paused. All this stuff is normal for this to happen, and this is not a bearish sign. It's good that people just ship, things kind of go down, and then we resume things when the devs just deploy fixes nice and fast. So let's have a look here with DeFi Dungeons. We'll go over this. It was released just recently, and I haven't yet gone through it, so we're just going to go through this live. I covered the Git book previously with DeFi Dungeons, with Play the Heist in 2023. There's quite a bit of complexity to the game. I don't have any predictions for like how euphoric this game goes, but I feel like it's going to do well. Boogles are involved. A lot of like higher tier NFT collections got access to pre-sale. A lot of normal ones did as well. Just a lot of people faded, including myself. Just wasn't very liquid at the time, and it was quite expensive. One thing just to note is if the floor price just goes up really crazy, just be mindful of the euphoria. You can't TA NFTs. The NFTs here just depend on how much they can return. All right, let's have some fun. We'll go through it, and as soon as Portals is live, we will go through it. As soon as the game's back in. So DeFi Dungeons, Fantasy Idol MMORPG. And so what this basically means is you're going to play the game for like five minutes a day, sometimes a little bit more if you're really quite obsessed, or if you're trying to get more and more gold, or maybe you do quests for like 8 hours and then you jump back in, you set reminders. So it's a Warcraft-inspired town of Night Vale, and they progress from novice adventurers to fabled raiders. And then you have dungeons and raids. You can group up and explore all DeFi dungeons. You search for gold, and you're progressing your heroes. This blends concepts from good idle games and traditional RPGs. And this is the vision. So they've been working in general on Web3 games for 3 years. And we aim to bring a fresh RPG experience to the blockchain with our signature idle gaming systems built in. DeFi Dungeons built for all players, from those who want to play multiple times per day to those who want to play passively once a week. And it focuses on a scalable, replayable gameplay loop built for fun, progression, and reward. Just keep in mind, they have had a decent amount of experience with this. So I think they're going to deliver, because they delivered on Play the Heist in the first couple of seasons. And then I don't know if they were trying to over-deliver, or if it was just hard to keep on building, but there was issues that kind of came afterwards. And probably still doing okay now. It's just it went through this crazy hype, and then it kind of dropped down. And if this is a little bit more sustained, I think it'll be far more successful. And I hope that is what is the case. Of course, nothing is financial advice. We're just playing a game. Yes, you have to pay to play. There are currently 2 types of heroes split up into different roles. On launch, you can be an adventurer, which is a warrior, mage, marksman, or a banker. And heroes are available on the where did it go? On the in-game marketplace and NFT secondary marketplaces. One cool thing here is they have their own marketplace, so you don't have to go to Tensor or anything. So it gives them a bit of in-house revenue, which hopefully will pay the bills, and then just keep the growth and the tokenomics good. And they're on Solana. Cool. So the adventurer is the most active character. They slay bosses in dungeons and raids, train up on in the training ground to progress through Night Vale. So you go through a warrior, then a marksman, then a mage. You got 3 well, I'm assuming they level up. Maybe not. No. So they have 3 classes in the adventurer: warrior, mage, and marksman. They have different weaponry and armor types, but they just want to get more gold, of course. And in in-game content, the attack style of each class will affect your efficiency against certain bosses. This creates a need for correct composition in certain features. Pretty much a completely equal amount of these. This is already kind of interesting me, to be perfectly honest. I'm just going to have, we're just going to play with this, and we'll go back to Portals in a little bit later. So the combat level, and any questions, ask them away. The combat level, an adventurer's combat level determines the rewards they receive in quests and the chance of completing dungeons and raids. Combat level is dependent on your stat points and your equipped items. Combat level calculation, cumulative power, base and equipment plus, cumulative vitality, base and equipment, divided by 4. Don't know if we can make this any bigger. Oh yeah, we can. So total power plus power from equipped items, then total vitality, and then divided by 4. Cool. One thing to keep in mind is last time Play the Heist came over, the amount of people that had their NFTs as their PFP on Twitter was insane, and that will kind of drive more engagement for people to jump into this game. And I'm expecting, well, I won't make a prediction until I've gone through this whole Git book on the number of players that will actually be playing. Hero progression will be staggered throughout expansions, which is good. New combat level cap with all new items will be released each time a new expansion. The current combat level cap is 100 on launch. There will be some people like NFT Doctor that's probably going to go and buy $50,000 worth of gold or more and just try and max upgrade things so they just do a lot better. Now the banker, this is very important, if you get a banker, these are far more rare and it's going to be a random distribution with only 250 available on launch. These old boys will be printing some hard cold gold. So these are probably going to sell, like let's say the floor price on day of launch is let's say like 6 sol. These will be 45. So just keep in mind, do not go and sell them for the floor. You can go and put a bid on for a floor in case you get lucky. That's what I expect. There'll be a lot more demand for them, but it depends on how much gold they actually earn. And the bank is for people that just want to be passively just, they just collect gold, right? They don't have to go on quests. Gold we've covered before, but basically it's 77% in the rewards. I don't know how long it's supposed to go, but it says for the first 6 months, all tokens spent in-game besides percentages sent to referrers will be burnt. After this period, 50% of tokens will be recirculated to the rewards faucet and 50% burnt. So my expectation here is maybe they earn a little bit off the liquidity pool themselves, but they're mostly going to be earning off the royalty. So every time we're using it to upgrade the tokens, it's burnt. It's just gone out of supply other than a referral system. Dungeons. So collect unique equipment and search for valuable loot to fill your pouches with gold. Dungeons are the gateway to progression and reward. Cool. Dungeons are the core feature of DeFi dungeons. Adventurers enter dungeons to slay bosses and earn loot and equipment. Users can earn valuable equipment to improve the power of their adventure, and valuable loot they can sell at the loot exchange for gold. And this would be a peer-to-peer exchange, which is really cool because previously with the heist, you could still do trades with people, but you had to go into Discord and say, who wants to buy this? Who wants to buy this? I'll give you this. Whereas this seems more like it's a marketplace. You go in, you set your price. If you're too high, no one buys. If you're too low, they buy it all really fast. Adventurers aim to progress from early game dungeons like Forgotten Grove to end game dungeons like Crimson Halls. Night Vale is home to 5 dungeons, each with differing difficulty, risk, and reward. So we may find out in a second that if you go into like this one, there's a chance you lose your NFT, which I never did that in the previous Play the Heist. We'll have to wait and see. You could be killed. But the odds are far higher, right? That you would get a lucrative amount. Dungeon instance. A notice board that displays dungeon information, loot tables, dungeon boss battle, a chest to claim your loot. So you equip your adventurer, start the dungeon, claim your rewards, earn equipment, and equip new gear and sell your loot for gold if you want to. We won't cover this like beginning. Dungeons take 15 minutes to complete. That's really fast. Once the time ends, users can claim to see if they kill the boss and what rewards they earn from the dungeon run. So it's an idle game, but it may be an idle game which people just like, they're trading, they're LPing, they're doing whatever, and then on one screen, they're just playing this game. So it might actually be not as idle as I initially thought, which I think is good because it gets people talking about these things. Just going to check in with one of my researchers to see what he's saying. No, all good. Okay. Dungeon keys. So each dungeon requires its own unique entry key. Adventurers use one dungeon key per dungeon run. Keys are found while questing and are bound to the account, not the individual NFT. Cool. Combat level and dungeon difficulty. This is looking really fun, to be honest. I knew it would be, but this is they've done well with this. I'm excited. Each dungeon increases in its difficulty, each with a higher recommended combat level than the prior, but with rarer and more valuable rewards. Adventurer's chance to kill each boss varies based on the combat level versus boss's combat level. They can attempt any boss at any combat level, but trying to kill a boss much higher is risky and likely to fail. And you can see your exact chance to kill a boss when the NFT is selected in the dungeon send screen. So ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to, and I can make a different video on this. There's probably going to be this massive demand for gold now. So let's go back to GMGN. And let's just see, like, same time the whales could have already gone and accumulated this. This is still a sizable amount of volume, to be perfectly honest. We're still under mint price. I mean, we come up and we come down. It's quite interesting that we've come down that low, because I think this is, we'll go to a different chart, like a 5-minute chart, just to see. Excluding the very first time it launched, right, which is when all this happened, I would have loved to have bought around this point. We had a wick down to like 1.4 cents, and then we just kind of came up. But that was when everyone's USDC was stuck in the meteor vault. We've peaked up at like just over break even, come on down sharply. It's not following like a typical trading pattern. Like you couldn't really have much fun with support here, right? You can say like this is maybe support. And this appears to be resistance. So maybe if you had some spare capital, you could go and put in a single-sided bid for like this current price, not like let it come down a little bit, maybe set it from like here. And from that price, so at about like $27.3 million market cap, and come down 8%, just to accumulate some to then let them kind of go up again. Or if you want to, you can just let it come down here and go spot, potentially. Right now, this is the MACD, the RSI is indicating the price comes on down, typically. But yeah, I don't know what the token is going to do, but I know that I'm so confident the NFTs were going to go up in value, and they're probably going to be like 5 SOL at least, like from the get-go. So, okay, couple of questions, well, one question here. What is the address for the game? You can see here, the address for the Portals game is theportal.to. And the address for DeFi Dungeons, it's launching on the 2nd, but it will be dungeons.game. I want to see if this is just, I'm just going to quickly go back here to see if this has continued. If Portals is kind of taken, if it's just, if they've paused things momentarily while they fix some things, which is to be, you know, it's understood. It's understandable. It looks as though it's paused, so we'll probably get back into DeFi Dungeons. And just keep in mind, if there is any FUD with DeFi Dungeons, like if the game doesn't launch smoothly or whatever, that could be a time to get an entry for NFTs as well. Because this stuff is hard and they don't stress test it beforehand. I don't know why they don't, but probably like just a lack of time. Plus, you can stress test in a test net and then it doesn't work on mainnet. So it's like this across so many apps. Just it is how it is. So I'm confident in the team's ability to execute on this. So if the floor price goes down and you think it's worth a buy, you could go and get some in. Excuse me. Okay, let's go back to this. This is not going to work today, unfortunately, so I'm just going to update people on Twitter. Well, it's not going to work today, but like I don't want to do like an hour podcast stream. So we'll go back to this. So we've got this. let's see if we can open these images in a new tab. So if you want to beat this one, you need combat level 20, then 40, 60, 80, and 100 to get the Inquisitor destroyed. And of course, things will improve. Loot table, you can grab all this different loot, which maybe we'll cover that in the next thing. Each boss has a different loot table. The odds for each piece of equipment and loot can be found in the loot table of each boss. So this, as an example, I'll just remove myself. But before I do, okay, I think portals have started working again. So I'll go back to that in a second. Do you have the detailed guide for Dungeons game? It is a Git book, and you just get it at docs.dungeons.game. But I'll just see if I can post it in here, and hopefully you can just click on it there. This is the first time I'm reading it, just as an FYI. So let's just go through this quickly, this image. So like this is the chance of being able to score one of these bits of equipment. So 6%, so you could probably go in, you could get some gold, but then not getting loot, you may have to enter in around 20 times, and then every now and then you could get unlucky and go in a lot longer. Yeah. All right. I think the Portals game is back on, so I'm just going to double check that, and we'll just get amongst it and come back. Or Portals will be up shortly. I'm just going to quickly check if we next battle. We'll check that in a moment. Okay, back to this. We're just going to speed run this. Quests. So this is where you earn dungeon keys and loot, and where an adventure with a dream begins its journey. So quests are a passive feature. You earn dungeon keys and loot. Users can obtain valuable keys or access high-tier dungeons and valuable loot that they can sell at the loot exchange for gold. And they aim to progress from low level to end game quests by increasing their combat level. So you get dungeon keys, loot, and gold. I imagine some of these will take 8 hours or longer. And QC, check out 77-bit. I'll put on the radar. Chris will note it, and we'll have a look into it another day. The Quest Master. Adventures begin questing at the Quest Master. Quest trips are perpetual, meaning you can stay questing for as long as you like, and your rewards will stack up. This allows you to play DeFi dungeons at their own pace, and you can claim all your quests once per week, or can claim hourly or okay, this is good. So this means you can just one issue that could happen previously is someone could just automate a bot if they had the skill or at least a macro, and just claim and just rotate and just go through it. Or there could be a team of people with access to a private key. They'll go through. There'd never be any downtime unless the game was down, as opposed to the normal person that sleeps, and you probably don't want to sleep. Wake up, first thing you do is this, last thing you do at night is this. So this looks as though it will just kind of repeat. How the quests work: you access the quest UI, you select and equip your adventurers you would like to quest, complete one quest per hour. Each time a user completes a quest, they have a chance to earn rewards, claim rewards at any time, earn dungeon keys and merchant loot, and sell your loot for gold. So gold is going to be, there are some people that use a strategy where they just go and they get as much stuff as they can, trying to get rarer stuff, and they just sell it for gold. And then they take some of that and they just cash it out to Sol. And that's their kind of profit-taking strategy. Other people just go and grab as much gold as possible. And then there's probably like raffles, which we may cover soon, or summoning, which allows you to mint another NFT, you get that, you sell them. There could be that system as well. Well, I'm just going based off what happened previously with Play the Heist. So the quest reward table is combat level dependent and changes as you progress through the game to ensure your rewards are representative of your power. So you get these, and then a few more things, whatever. And getting here will be hard. Like you'll have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on gold. But that's okay. You can still have fun at these levels as well. Items, it's loot and equipment. Equipment items are specific to each class and can be equipped by adventurers, giving you stat bonuses, and they can only be required through dungeons and raids. We'll do a tutorial like day one for sure. We'll stream it and then we'll do a tutorial. And I'll work out before then where I think putting some bids on Tensor or Magic Eden or Sniper.xyz could be like the right levels. But at the same time, if you can get whitelist or if you've got whitelist, I'll be minting. Or there might be even a few first come, first served. Loot items can be exchanged for gold and they can be obtained through quests. I'm assuming these things can be exchanged at gold by people buying them. Cool. Equipment. A hero can equip up to 6 pieces of equipment at one time. Head, body, legs, boots, weapon, and miscellaneous items. And they use different things. And rarity is applied to equipment to signify its eye level bracket. This is another thing, another tip which worked in Play the Heist is if you win some of this, sell it and just go for something less, because you need to have like quite a large budget for to do well with this sort of stuff, and it's normally profitable to sell it for a whale that just wants to have fun, and you go and buy something less. Potentially, that's what I'm going to do. Sell loot, earn gold. Loot is a non-equipable, fungible item designed exclusively for sale to the tavern merchant. Okay. Loot items can be discovered through quests, dungeons, and raids. Users sell loot items to the merchant for gold, and it fluctuates over time based on the quantity sold and its value weighting. So you're not selling this to other people. It looks as though you're selling it to an in-game merchant. Rare loot is more valuable than common loot, but it's harder to obtain and is only found in high-tier content. Fine. We'll aim to get there. Let's have a look at training and make sure that portals is not back up yet. Cool. Training ground. Adventurers enter the training ground to level up their stats and unlock talents. Users can purchase stats and talents for gold or engage in combat training to level them up over time. Adventurers aim to max their stats and talents to increase their combat level and subsequently their power and quests. Well, we'll have to work out how much time we have to go to the training grounds. We'll just have to work that out. Level up your heroes. Heroes can spend their stats by spending time on combat training. Combat training trips are time-based and allow users to train one skill at a time. They are free and cost no gold, but they take time to complete. So there's the opportunity cost. You're not earning gold when you're doing it, but you should be getting yourself up ready to go higher. I'll say that again. There's an opportunity cost. Maybe you want to get a little bit of gold first and then go and train a little bit, but you probably want to get up pretty quickly. The other thing to keep in mind is when you're buying NFTs, have a look for those at a little bit higher level, especially if they're selling at the floor price. Talent tree allows heroes to specialize in certain stat trees, granting unique bonuses across the game. Level up stats to unlock talents. Okay, so we've got the talent tree adds depth, choice, and opportunity cost to a hero's build. Users earn 1 talent point for every 20 stat levels. At the maximum level 140, this allows the user to spend a total of 7 talent points across the talent tree. And you can choose whichever one you want. You can only go 1 talent tree, I believe. Or is that how it works? Is that what it said? No, I think we can do all of them. Each talent offers a unique bonus that influences the hero's gameplay. Power tree, they can do glass cannon mastery, which boosts their chance to defeat bosses, but hides the risk of dying. Okay, we need to find out about that. We're just gonna have to see how some of this goes when it comes out. In a couple of days, 2nd of April. Pay gold level, and the mint day is 31st of March. Pay gold, level up your stats. Each hero has 2 primary stats and 2 secondary stats, power and vitality and fortune and luck, each providing its unique bonus. Power, kill bosses. Vitality, increase your chances to kill bosses and reduces the chance of hitting negative events. Fortune increases your chance to find equipment items. Luck increases your chance to find loot. I reckon these are probably going to be your 2 best ones to upgrade. But the issue is, but the thing is, if this goes to level 10 and this is level 10, then it gets a lot more expensive to go from 10 to 11. You could probably go from 1 to 4 with the same amount of gold. So typically you go up a level, everything at the same, but I'm probably going to lead with power and vitality. There'll be some people that just want to play the route of just finding items and selling them, and they're probably going to go with this as a stronger point. Power and vitality contribute to your base combat level. All 4 sets can be leveled up in training ground or by stat purchasing. All stats are also present on equipment. Cool. The tavern. Let's find out about this. Loot exchange, banking, gold staking, and item vault. The tavern is the heart of Night Vale's economy. Cool. So this has strong DeFi Kingdoms vibes, which was a game on Harmony blockchain back in 2021. It had a whole lot of hype, and then they kept on building cool stuff. But tokenomics is hard. But this was paying homage to every other role-playing game out there, and this is paying homage to that role-playing games as well. So there's no copying or anything like that, but it looks cool for sure. You can sell your loot for gold at the loot exchange. Users sell their loot for gold at the loot exchange. This is the main force of gold in the game, and where heroes come to realize their hard work. Bankers take a cut on each transaction in the loot transaction. So you sell this, and this is where the bankers do well. They just get a little bit of a cut. They've got this perfect residual income. So if you manage to get a banker, if you want to be passive, just hang on to that. Otherwise, if you can set some lower bids and get lucky and get them filled, a banker will do well. It will be probably, like I said, 45, 50 sol. We'll just have to wait and see. Pricing model. Each loot item has a weighted value. Each day, the merchant will emit a set amount of gold between all loot sales. It calculates the value of each loot by using a weighted moving average of the past 12 hours. And this model aims to create a cap on daily missions, but promote game progression. So there'll probably be tables, or you can probably get a bit of a feel for it, or jump into Discord. But when you're selling a piece of loot, there might be some days when it's better to hold it and better to sell it, because it just depends how much loot has come out that day. So you can potentially time your buys and sells. I still want to know if we can sell this person to person. We won't go through the example because it's pretty easy to understand. Banking. Bankers stake in the tavern to earn a percentage of all loot item sales at the merchant. Okay, so bankers stake perpetually and earn gold in real time as trades are made. There are 250 bankers, but they earn 10% of total missions from the loot. So, okay, you got to come in here and you have to stake him. If you have one and you don't stake it, you're not doing it right. Gold staking. Users can stake the gold to earn a percentage of all the tokens spent in the economy. A to-be-decided percentage of all sinks is shared with gold stakers. Users will accumulate their share of the split. This doesn't tend to work out that well. So if you're wanting to play with it, with 1,000 gold or something kind of minimal, then fine. But you have to see what the APR is like and how fast you can unstake it. Because if you lock it for 30 days and it's earning 40%, and then it just drops by 60%, and it's better to upgrade your heroes, you have to keep that in mind. Item Vault allows users to, let me just check on portals. I think we're okay. Item Vault allows users to view and manage all their items in the game. Users can also quick equip items to their adventurers here. Cool. This is where you can see. All right, summoning. This is where I think, okay, you can summon new heroes with gold. So this is a good thing. So, okay, this is going to come post-launch, but there's 11,000 NFTs, and this could grow to 22,000. And maybe the first generation is they have more power, and then the second generation, kind of like Axie Infinity, has less, and that's a cheaper entry. And this is potentially where the game can grow to 20,000 or more users, potentially. If they added other mechanics like the ability to delegate access, like Axie Infinity, maybe that could work as well. But I don't think it's needed. I think I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So to play, we need to buy an NFT and the gold token Should we do this before launch? The gold token, I just went over it before, but you can kind of potentially bid down to this level in a meteor pool and hope it gets filled, because it looks as though we're coming down in price. You don't need probably too much gold. You don't have to, but it's more getting the NFT. NFTs are going to be quite hard to get. I think they're going to jump up on price pretty quickly. There'll be a lot of buy pressure, and they'll probably go over 5 sol pretty quickly. Probably like they could go even higher, to be honest. But you don't need any gold. You could just go with your NFT. But if you can upgrade your NFT, you're going to have more fun. But it's another cost to keep in mind. Summoning will be cool. Don't know when it's going to come, but we'll cover it as soon as it does. Raids, group up with your friends or guild. This is another patch released post-launch. They worked on this. Well, they were maybe they did actually achieve this in the heist, but I never still have my heist NFTs, but I didn't actually play them. So group up with your friends or guild to take on the hardest bosses. Cool. This gives it far more of a multiplayer aspect, which is very, very worthwhile. Just and to start getting like interaction amongst people. I think crypto we're all kind of siloed, and it's any game that brings more people in. I think this is going to and has you playing with another person, you start to build these connections. Just keep in mind that there are anonymous people on the internet. Just be safe. Don't lend people crypto and stuff like that. NFT marketplace, list, sell, and purchase heroes directly in game. View character data includes stats, items, combat level, talents, and more. And save and earn fees by using our referral system. Perfect. So I'll set up a referral system, and if I do well, then I'll just work out if we can take a couple, get some entities, and just see who I've referred and just raffle them off in some legal, easy way. And it's now a lot easier to do this kind of stuff because crypto is kind of safer in the US. So you can also refer your own friends, of course, or just send them my way, of course. The in-game marketplace takes a 2% fee of the total purchase price of the NFT. The fee is split between 25% reduction fees. Okay, it doesn't matter. The mechanics are there's a referral system, which is pretty important to keep content going. DeFi Dungeons will take an expansion-based approach to new content and game scaling. First expansion will allow to reach level 140, include 6 dungeons and 2 raids, and then more and more. Cool. Well, I'm more so keen on when do we see heroes come in where we can summon new heroes, which is what you could do in DeFi Kingdom on Harmony. And exactly as I said, as you summon, they had less stats. They had a lower thing, but they're cool. Economy, the gold faucet model ensures that only a certain number of tokens are given out per day, spread across the economy. Cool. Well, I reckon that looks really, really good, to be honest. We've got a couple of days for this to go live. So absolutely brilliant. Keep in mind, the mint prices, it's going to be really hard to get one of these unless you have a whitelist. So this is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 31st of March. So Monday, and then it will run for 4 hours, and then it's first come, first serve. First come, first serve whitelist phase. Okay, so you still need to be whitelisted. So your best bet is to go and where does it say the price? It's in Discord, so let me just pull it up. It's basically I think $325 or something like that. $325. So $325, and people selling the whitelist for $150 on platforms like Exaverse and stuff. Setting bids at 4 sol, 5 sol, 5.5 sol. If you can get anything filled there, I think that'll be worthwhile. But if there's any FUD, then keep that in mind. But also keep in mind that there's a couple of days before this goes live, and people just FUD things out of for no reason. I don't even like to mention this FUD because people might think that I'm FUDding a project by just anticipating that it's going to be FUD. There's just FUD because people just sit on different sides of the IQ curve, and it's funny to watch, and you want to try and profit from it, to be perfectly honest. So this comes out March 31st with the NFT, and then the game goes on the 2nd. There could be delays. These could be buying opportunities, in my opinion. There will be people here that want to see this succeed. I reckon it's going to be fun. All right, cool. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if Portals is back to having some fun, or we may have to end this live stream, and I'll just kind of talk about what was going on here, because it's coming back soon, but like soon is, when is soon? But there's no pressure from me for this to come back any sooner. So I don't know what my rank is here. No battles of having fought, so it is paused right now. My biggest thing here is I just want to see like stuff happening on Solana that's just not, or stuff happening in crypto that's just fun, and nothing's going to be worked out perfectly, but thus far this was kind of cool. This is kind of cool. It's just day one, a couple of launch things that have come up. One thing to keep in mind is the earlier you get in, the more emissions come out, and then it kind of dies down towards the end of the day 7. So I'm expecting to see a whole lot of froth early on, and then it'll kind of relax. But still a good marketing campaign, or people having fun. It could have some longevity, especially as it goes to season 2 and season 3, which I have no details on. So that's all I will kind of cover right now, just because the game is not live and we've covered the DeFi dungeons. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for tuning in. And that's all. Catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Whoa. Hmm? Yeah.